have Christopher Smith coming up next. Chris?
Thank you. My name is Chris Smith. I am new to forums. Although I've been around them, I have not been the candidate. And to answer your question as to why I'm running, the day that I signed up there at the city, nobody else did. Nobody else would. And the last speaker, it just brings tears to my eyes when you ask me why I'm running. Because I had my nephew with me. I've got grandkids. I don't want them to go to school in black jackets and hard hats, carrying M16s because they have to get to their lunchroom or their class. And these are the kind of people, there are people that are being brought into this United States of ours from places such as prisons and mental institutions that are headed for our city.
That's right.
Or any city in America. And whatever city that we're in, I want to preserve that for my nephew, for my grandkids, for yours. And we talked about spending today, what we can afford, what we can't. You look at your paycheck, you know what you can pay for, what you can't. How much groceries are this week as opposed to last week. How much new shoes are from a couple months ago. Well, those costs increase in the city as well. And another reason that I'm running, getting to maintaining our existing infrastructure, that's the only time I want to see my name on a building in this town. And we can take it down. I don't want a permanent. I'm not here to build a new anything. I want to keep what we have. I think we have plenty. And I think it needs maintained. I think we have some streets that we all could say are in disrepair. We have too much at the complex. We're going to be asked whether we want more. We have a bridge. We're going to be asked if we want to pay for that. Why haven't we paid for that? Why, for 20 years, have we been told that this bridge needs some attention and we don't do it? Well, it's quite simple. We need another ball field. We need a water park. We've got a great building over here that is our aquatic center. Great building. It's lasted. And it could probably go another 40 years. But what do we need beside a bridge? The public safety. We need a new aquatic center. And I think we should look out for the safety of the citizens of this community before we decide to sit there and build something new so that our names can be plastered on that building. So that we can say, look what we did. So I would like to promote, as best as we're able, fiscal responsibility. I don't want to spend dollars, tax dollars, on things that we're not allowed to and that we shouldn't be funding. And I support traditional family values. I think it's important that our children are raised in a loving environment. And I wish I had all the notes, and I won't take up much more time. And I probably won't bring up Warren Buffett again. But he was asked how to spot a great leader. And he says we look for three things when we hire people. We look for intelligence, we look for initiative or energy. Most of all, we look for integrity. And if they don't have the latter, the first two will kill you. He goes on to say that integrity builds trust. Integrity saves you money and time. And integrity outperforms the competition. And so in closing, I plan to outperform my competition. Integrity is one of the things that I believe I am the strongest in this room. And I think that this is a room full of people with integrity, or they wouldn't be here. So I'd like to thank you for your time and your consideration for Ward 1.
How much time does he have? 8 minutes. Questions from anybody to Chris?
There is one question in the back here.
The city council in their almighty intelligence decided to pass a hate speech thing that, if I went around with a shirt saying something, or if I said something that someone took offense to, I could be, slammed with a fine or put in jail. Would you get rid of that? Would you vote to get rid of that hate speech?
I would vote for repeal, yes. That answer?
Yeah.
Was that the hate crimes ordinance?
Yeah.
The hate ordinance.
Yeah, you actually had to commit a crime for that right now,
Mhm.
but speech can be next.
Yeah.
But we would like to see that repealed.
Well, it would take more than just me, so.
We know,
You know that?
Yeah.
we know.
Are there any other questions?
Right here.
Wow.
What would you like to see accomplished, one of the big things accomplished when you're elected to city council?
What are the,
What is one item that you would like to achieve as a city council person?
well, I think my big issue is the bridge. And I'm speaking of the Gurley overpass. And I would like to see that repaired, if possible, or rebuilt. But I think we got funds somewhere in the budget to do that. And I don't want to see it done from a 1% sales tax. I don't think that we give to our government more drugs, that they haven't been that they overspend somewhere else, that they haven't taken good care of what they've been given. So I don't want to see more, but I would like to see that, because it's a public safety issue. And we're more concerned about entertaining ourselves than protecting each one of us from harm, should that bridge fail.
So do you believe, I'll try to talk loud, do you believe that there are engineers out there that could save the bridge rather than tear it down and build a new one?
Uh-huh. Gosh, I hope so. Engineers get a bad rap. I spent some time in construction, and so you see some engineering plans and you're like, You can do that. But you take it back and you show them what you can do. So I think that there is some hope in engineers out there still. Do you have one in mind? Like, is there a good one?
No.
I'm not saying engineers are bad, so forgive me.
I'm just saying that to rebuild it or to repair it, we don't know if an engineer has the idea of how to do it. Can it be preserved? Is it waste of money? Do we need to build a new one?
That's what I'd like to know, because I've been told that they think the foundation's bad. I've heard girders. I don't know that anybody really knows what is wrong. Why could it only last 40 years? There's houses in this town that live longer than that. There's bridges all across America that have lived longer than that. There's buildings in New York City. Sears Tower in Chicago. I mean, I guess Eiffel Tower is in Paris, France, but you know, there's, I guess Vegas. There's structures
Macy's
out
Mall.
there that have been engineered long before computers, and they're still standing. Now we got some more questions. Thank you.
I have a question. In our subdivision, we live out in, actually, it's not really Westover, but it's out at Westover, and that's called Copper Ridge. But the roads are failing, and so the city came in and poured oil down and then put gravel on, poured oil on that gravel and then put more gravel on. So now we live on a gravel street for the most part. Now, the other day, I was driving my brand new vehicle, and a guy went up there and hit my windshield, and I got a crack in my windshield, a spot on it. And I guess, you know, how are we going to address the streets that we have major problems with? Do you have any ideas on that? I don't mean to put you on the spot, but...
Hire professional street builders. Amen. You know, people that have a long history of building streets. You're not gonna hire the grocery manager to pave your street. I think we need to look at who we hire.
That's good.
We're not laughing at you, Chris.
I hope not.
Private joke back here.
I'm a native here, and it seems like every time Cheyenne gets a new aquatic center, Gillette's got to have one bigger. Or you go to, oh, we got to have a bigger bus, or we got to have the newest and the best. And I guess my question is, what can be done to offset this? Is this bridge, the Gurley overpass, is that one of those deals with, hey, you don't have the fancy bicycle paths that bicycles won't use? Or, all those bicycle paths, I mean, they're a great idea if they'll use them. But that's the way it's been always through my lifetime. If Cheyenne gets something or Casper gets something, Gillette's got to have the biggest, the best.
I've got 1 minute, and yes, there does seem to be an addiction to that in this community, and I like nice things too. I like a nice motorcycle, I got a nice vehicle, but I'm not asking you to pay for them. And if it's something that we can't afford, then we need to figure something out. Yeah, our spending and our addiction to having the latest, greatest, that's a tough one for me too. That's where I say I want to keep and maintain existing infrastructure. I'm not competing with anybody in the next town, and I don't think we should. And it's just, I'll give you an example with the Camplex. They want us to build a fancy indoor arena, or else somebody's not going to come to Gillette. So they're putting a gun to our head, telling us that we gotta do something in order to deserve their business.
How long were you the GOP chairman here in Campbell County?
I spent 4 years as the chairman of Campbell County GOP and 4 years as the vice chairman of the state party.
Awesome. Were you a commissioner too?
No,
Okay.
I did run for city council Ward 2 once, and that's another story for another day.
Okay, time's up anyway.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
I just had a